I'm Julie Samaco, owner of Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make them also. In this video, I want to show you how to make a beautiful Mother's Day wreath. Some of the supplies you're going to need are some greenery stems, these are just white ever flowering stems, and then I've got beautiful, these are bushes. They're just so this is like a bush of like 8 stems on one bush, and I've got a couple of these. Now you can mix it up any way you want, you know, purchase what is available to you. It doesn't have to match mine exactly. And then I found this cute square wreath, but you can use a round wreath if you want, a grapevine. And then ribbon that coordinates with your flowers. And we're going to need 3 zip ties, floral wire, wire cutters, and scissors. To create the floral piece, we're just going to start layering the flowers on top. So first I might start with the greenery and then layer some of the white flowers, and I'm going to stack it. So you want some that are longer, and then they gradually are going to get shorter as you get closer to your hand. So put that there, and feel free to cut off anything that is going to be in the way. And then you're going to cut the flowers off of your bushes down low. I'm going to put some of these, I guess these are, I don't know what these are, maybe impatiens. Let's put some roses. And I'll just keep layering them until they're the way I like them. So you just kind of position the flowers around, move them around, and you can bend them since they're silk flowers. When you like that position, just use one of the zip ties and zip tie it together. Make sure you get all the stems, because some of them are going to be a little short, on the short side. And then basically I do the same thing on the opposite side. So I might trim some of the greenery, layer it to the back. Some more. So put a piece of white flowers there. And this time I'm going to do the white, a cream, actually a pink, pale pink peony here. And then I'll probably do this one. If you need some of the, if some of the leaves kind of get in the way, you don't want it too bushy, you can trim those, pull those off. For a list of supplies and where I've purchased these flowers, you can go to my blog at southerncharmwreaths.com/blog. Okay, so then I'll put some right here. forgot to cut off the zip tie. The little excess on the zip tie, you could go ahead and do that because it'll get in the way. So then probably cut off more of this green. I'll do some more roses. So I'm just kind of shoving it in, and it's going in between my fingers. So here again, I've got the greenery in the back, and then I've got the white flowers on top. Sometimes I have to scoot some out. I'm trying to make it even distance from my hand on either side, so I might have to move some out. But see how it's staggered? You've got some, you know, up here, and it comes and it gradually just keeps moving down the spray. And then when I've got that the way I like it, I'm going to zip tie. Let me hold it up real quick. So just hold it up to see if that's the way, if that's along, you know, the length is good. And then I'm going to zip tie the bundles together. All right, and then I'm going to use one more zip tie. So now I'm zip tying everything together. And then trim off the excess on the zip ties. And then now what you're going to do is you're going to turn it around, and you want to trim off these excess stems. See how this one comes out real far? You don't want that. Just be careful not to trim, not to cut off the stem of a flower that's sticking out this way. Okay. Let's trim off this. Let's see, are there any over here? All right. You can keep these little extra pieces because we can hot glue them in later. And also I always keep my leaves that I trim off. Okay, so let me show you how to do the bow. What I've done is I've cut 30-inch streamers using the ribbon. So I've got two that are of the same pattern. They're 2.5 inch in width. And I've got another one that's a different solid color. It's 2.5 inch in width. And two of these 1.5 inch width streamers. So they're all 30 inches, and I only use the wired ribbon for this bow. It helps with shaping the bow. So let's get started on making it. The first thing I'm going to do is just come, I guess I come up about 9 inches or so, and then I just pinch it together. Then I'll measure out 12 inches and pinch it. And then with this ribbon tail, I'm just going to turn it to the, twist it so that you have both of the good side of the ribbon facing towards you. And then what I'll do is I'll I just alternate back and forth. So now I'm going to do the 1.5 ribbon. I measure out to 12 inches. I don't have to twist this ribbon because it's the same on both sides. But you can keep measuring if you want to make sure your loops are the same in height. So you see I've got two already of the loops facing upward, and I've got one facing downward, and now I'm making another one facing downward. And then I'll twist this, and then one more. And then take a piece of floral wire, and then I'm going to tie it off. So I just twist it in the back. Turn the bow to twist it, tighten the wire. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to attach it to our swag that we handcrafted. So basically put the wire around the base of the swag. I'm covering up the zip ties. So I try to make sure the bow is in the center. And then twist it on the back. So there we've attached the bow. Sometimes these streamers you can move, so you need some on the both sides of the swag. So I'll move some to the front, or one side, and some on the other side. So let me show. So keep this. You're going to keep this wire long, and that's what you're going to use to attach it to the wreath. Okay. So now I'm going to attach the swag to the wreath. Make sure you can see it. All right. So what we're going to do is just twist this. Once we position it the way we like it. I'm going to twist the wire around the frame. Make sure I get it real tight. And then trim this short. And so now what I do is I typically play around with the bow just a little bit. If you find any of the streamers that are too long, you could cut them. And then, excuse me, what you could do is bend the focal flowers, so in this case the peonies. I'm just going to bend them a little bit closer to the bow. You can bend any of these flowers like out to help them make it look more like a spray. And then if you want it to wrap a little bit more around the frame of the wreath, or say you have an oval or a circle, you can just bend the stems in that direction. And then with these extra pieces that you cut off, you can cut them short and then place them in the ribbon loops. So just add a little hot glue. And you're just going to place them in between like where the ribbon is, the ribbon loops. And you can just kind of hold the ribbon there a little bit. So I'm gluing it between two pieces of a ribbon. You just hold it there until it gets cooled. So you can just keep adding pieces of the extra greenery and the flowers around the bow. Until it's all filled out. So the camera cut off, but I wanted you to know I added a rose over here and a rose down here. Or no, right here. And then you can trim these shorter, the tails, if you need to. I thought it would be nice if we added this bird's nest. So what you can do is just take some floral wire and run it through the bottom of the bird's nest, or through the the bottom. So it comes out so you've got the wire on the bottom. And then put some hot glue. And then I'm going to try to feed the wire through the actual wreath. And then trim the wire. And then if you want to, if you have to cover up some glue and maybe a little piece of wire, you can just use the extra leaves that we have. Put some hot glue on it and then stick it right under that area. If the swag seems to move is floppy, all you have to do is you could take a long zip tie and go through it and around to the back of the wreath. I'm just going to use floral wire and secure it that way. So I'm going to do one on the bottom and one on the top. And then just trim off the excess wire in the back. And then cover that up with some more leaves. I'm just going to cover up the wires so you don't see them. So this wreath was very simple. You just stagger the greenery and the flowers, and so it makes more of like a spray. And then you just zip tie those two sprays together, and then you can add it to the wreath base, and then fill in with more flowers. After you add the bow, and then fill in with more flowers, and add a nest. You could add a sign. If you didn't have a nest, you could maybe do a sign. If it's for Mother's Day, you could have a Mother's Day sign, or maybe her initial. So there you have it, a quick tutorial on how to make a simple Mother's Day wreath. I think your mother will be thrilled to have this hanging on her door. I know my mom would. If you liked the video and thought these instructions were good, make sure and comment below and tell me how much you liked it. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks for watching.